Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hello and welcome. What we bring you now is Game 2 of the evening in the Golden Esports League. We have Drakdräpare versus the Turtlemasters. And on that note, we hope to get into the game momentarily. We're just waiting on ready from... there we go. Just waiting on ready from one side, and we are go. So as we load into the game, with these two teams, these are two of the best teams in the league. I believe they hold positions 2 and 3 on the league standings. Drakdräpare holding position 2, Turtle holding 3. Both of these teams have become well known between me and Duke here. We generally expect to see the likes of Giftig, Skyzoe and Miracle playing very high aggressive carry to supports with Blink Daggers. Skyzoe Timbersaw is one of his most noticeable. Giftig, Gyrocopter, Miracle, Sand King. These are just heroes that come to mind when I say these names of the players. On the flip side of this coin, for Drakdräpare, Solon, the Solentor Warrunner, Steph Style, Chen, 8 Mother, the carry, Mirana with him, Frigoli, I think Shadow Shaman, Easy, we think Invoker. They are both very, very competent teams. And Dazzle and Invoker immediately being taken out. These two teams know this game like the back of their hand, and they're not going to let something like that through in this game. Ember equally being banned out, and I believe my co-caster Duke is a little bit AWOL.
Oh, I'm here. I just never got a chance to put a word in edgewise.
Fair enough, fair enough. I was thinking I may have cut the rope. Either way, the Centaur Warrunner is banned out by Turtle. They know full too well what Solon is capable of. But now where does that leave Drak? They have the option of first pick.
Lycan.
Doesn't even need mentioning. We've got Lycan. Drak love to run a very aggressive push strategy, so I'm expecting to see a Chen or an Enchantress as well. There's a Shadow Shaman that's possible. And it'll be a bat.
Team ban. Going to be an basically 8 Mother on the Lycan. E-skills likely onto the Bat Rider. These heroes have both been played by these players before. They've banned out the Mirana. You don't want the Mirana up with that Bane. It would just make it so easy, and then Visage would get enough damage from that single arrow to be able to just
drop a very scary soul assumption, indeed. But with a Bane and a Visage combination for Turtlemasters, then where do they look for the carry? Do we see a Luna? Do we see an OD in the mid lane? Do we see, what other options are there? Even a Pudge. Pudge is scary with Bane.
Radiant team ban.
The thing is, with what their lane is currently so far, they need something that either has a high nuke or something that needs to have positioning to be effective. So you're looking, that's why the Mirana is so good, because you can line up that arrow from the max range. Similarly, with the Gyrocopter, you can position yourself and get the rocket barrage off. With the Luna, I don't really think it makes too much of a difference having a Bane and a Bane. Because I don't think it makes too much of a difference having that with you.
It works in line with the Visage, but we do see ban-outs on Mirana, Doom, AA, and Chen. Why am I not surprised to see bans on Chen when you're against Drakdräpare? We've also got AA taken out completely. Don't really want to suffer that painful, chilling touch. But Turtlemasters pick up their Timber score. Skyzoe is now very happy. We've seen him do magical things with this hero. And part of me wonders, what else are we going to see from their lineup? Do we see the Gyrocopter? Do we see the Luna? Do we see, what else could Turtlemasters go that would make sense in this game? Templar Assassin to an extent.
For me, there's one hero for this potential defensive triad lane that I really want to see, and that's a Morphling.
I see.
A natural Lincoln's builder, not only is it now going to counter the Bat Rider and the Nyx Assassin, you also have high armor up against the Lycan because of how much agility you end up with. An average Morphling will end up with about 30 to 40 armor. And then you take into account the Visage will want to build a Assault Cuirass, someone will be building a Mechanism, and potentially if they have another melee, they could be even having a Vlad's. So I would like to see them, see Turtle pick up the Morphling here.
Fair enough. We equally do have that Nyx Assassin up for Drak, so they're going to be looking to go around and assassinate the Bane and the Visage before they can get anywhere near any item. Turtle, you think it'll be a Morphling? Potentially a very wise pick?
I don't think it will. I don't. I wouldn't say it will be the Morphling, but that is what I firmly believe would be more effective than trying to pick a Luna or a Gyrocopter. Luna or a Gyrocopter, they really won't do anything earlier. They won't do anything against a Lycan.
Okay, then I raise you the option of Night Stalker.
Well, obviously I was just going for the carry. Do you want to see a Night Stalker carry?
It's been done before by Na'Vi quite noticeably. They've ran the Night Stalker. Hell, so have Alliance, and there's the Luna pickup that I thought would be.
They did pick up the Luna. I don't particularly like that up against the Lycan and the Batrider and Nyx Assassin. I don't feel it's too effective. Lycan is just going to get an early BKB and shred through the Luna. The Batrider lasso completely will ignore that BKB entirely, and meanwhile the Lycan just will shred her to pieces. And the Vendetta, another big physical damage nuke.
10 seconds
For me, right now, everything lands on how Sky Zoe is going to be able to lane up against the defensive tri-lane.
Against a Shadow Shaman and a Nyx, I don't think Sky Zoe is going to have a very fun time, especially when it's a Frigalite Shadow Shaman, and we have seen what he can do.
It really depends how DDP want to run their last pick. They want to try and go aggressive with this. It's actually quite an even lane so far. They really could pick. There's quite a whole host. There's a host of heroes they'd be able to pick in this tri lane and still do effectively. Turtlemasters, despite having the Bane and the Visage,
5 seconds remaining.
Bane is more of a defensive hero unless paired with the right carry.
Well, we're going to see the ban on Puck as well.
Yeah, the mid choice coming down for Turtlemasters. I wouldn't be surprised to see a DK being picked up once again by Blumberg. We did see that up against 4FC. He did get a lot of farm on that DK, and it's generally what you want against the Lycan is is high armor, which is why I was mentioning the Morphling.
5 seconds remaining.
And not only that is you get that instant Dragon Tail stun, which can be used on the Batrider, the Lycan. The Nyx Assassin's not really going to be able to kill you, roam and kill you at 6 because you have such high just base health and that armor. So that's what I'd like to see Blombo pick up right now, but we'll have to see what they really want to go for. They might have something in mind, but I currently don't see a much better choice than having a DK. So they're going to pick some hero which I've completely forgotten.
Personally, I think Queen of Pain or Night Stalker would be a good choice here. Queen of Pain, high burst damage, able to shred the low HP heroes out of Shadow Shaman, Nyx, and Bat, or Night Stalker, who can much do the same, but when he gets an Aghanims, well, you're not even going to be able to blink and initiate. Night Stalker will see you coming.
Night Stalker more than the Queen of Pain. You don't really want to take someone with high int up against the Nyx.
5 seconds.
This much is true, but we do get a Storm, which is high int. Not what I personally would have expected either. But it can work, certainly. We can see Blum playing that. Drak now have their final pick. They have their potential mid from Bat or off lane. They have their tri-lane with a Lycan. We're looking for something that brings push to the table, since we once again have a Shadow Shaman who can drop wards and push towers, Lycan who split pushes like a king,
10 seconds
and
remaining.
Rubik will be the final pickup. So this is potentially a mid Nyx Assassin or mid Shadow Shaman.
No, it's more likely to be a... Well, it's not going to be a Shadow Shaman.
It'll be an off-lane Nyx. We've got Solon picking that up.
I wouldn't be surprised to see them tri-lane it.
Well, either way, on that note, let's introduce the players. We've got easy kills on that Batrider. He'll be in the mid lane. We've got Frigalite, Steph Style, and Ape Mother being a tri-lane, and an off-lane Solon Nyx. On the flip side of this coin, for Turtlemasters, we have Sky Zoe on the Timbersaw, and the remaining heroes for Turtlemasters are Giftig on the Luna. We have, going towards the mid lane, Blomberg on the Storm Spirit. We've got Matchroom on the Bane, and finally, bringing up the rear is Miracle on that Visage, which we have seen him play, I believe, twice before in this tournament.
People need to scout out DDP. They do this every game.
What, scout out Drak?
Look at this. What I've drawn on the map at the bottom in Radiant Jungle. Every single game, Solon does this.
30 seconds
They
to
could
battle.
they could completely destroy basically how he plays with this, just dewarding this.
Dewarding that one ward there would cause Solon problems, but in all honesty, Solon knows the offlane very well. I don't see it being too much of a problem for him.
The thing is, right now, he's going to get trashed on this offlane. He's expecting to go up against the tri-lane, so he's gone for boots and a bit of regen. He's now 1v1 versus a
The battle
Timbersaw,
begins for
and
good and all.
he needs to get regen pulled, otherwise he's just going to do absolutely nothing. We'll try and rotate into the mid and see if he can pull off anything there, or we'll just try and block up some camps.
Well, I can see him looking to block up camps. He still thinks he's against a potential tri-lane. Now, it being just the Timbersaw, it makes me think, is this not going to be a bit of problematic for him? Sure, he's got his Carapace, and he's not skilled yet, so he could certainly get that level 1 should it be necessary. In the meantime, we do have a smoke popped out of the Turtlemasters. They're looking for whatever they can find up in this top lane. The smoke will blank on Giftig, so now they know. The pings go out. They're wise to this situation.
I see.
Oh, nice telekinesis from Steph Style, but massive damage coming from the Saki Remnant, and Miracle's there just to basically just big middle finger up at DDP.
On that note, it seems we have a momentary pause. Apparently, may have connection issues. I'm hoping not. And, well, what can we see coming through bets-wise? Where's your money placed on this draft, Duke?
This game, I am more inclined to give it to Turtle over DDP. The way they're going to be trying to lane 8 Mother, he's not going to get too much up against the Storm Spirit in conjunction with the Visage. If you get a Crave Chill into the Vortex with the Remnant and the Overload, the Lycan's going to die. Meanwhile, at the top lane, the Batrider is going to get denied out consistently unless he can get the high Napalm stacks up on every single creep, which will be extremely mana intensive. Meanwhile, at bottom lane, Frigoli is going to need to come here to help out Solon, otherwise he's going to get beaten by Sky Zoe one-on-one. He just has no regen to try and contend with the Timbersaw.
Well, we already see that rotation coming through from Frigoli. And the mid lane, this matchup, I don't think is too bad. Sure, they've had to rotate Miracle in, so it's now a 2v2, but Rubik can do quite a lot in a defensive role, and they're not looking for anything overly aggressive. And
The thing is, the way basically what you can do quite a lot against it with the Grave Chill into the Electric Vortex, it is quite a large radius. Only when you want it. Like when you really, really want to get that off that Electric Vortex, it is an incredible range.
We've seen some quite large ones, and apparently we've got a bit of a lag issue, which hopefully won't be a common problem. I was going to mention up on this top lane. Sure, Easy's not going to get much in terms of gold, but he can look to rotate into the jungle, stack camps if he can. Sure, there's a ward in there to try to block camps, but with Giftig and Matrim here, Easy is just after the experience in my mind. The gold is a bonus when you're playing 1v2 like this.
I think it's, as a Batrider, you need gold. A level 6 means nothing. Like the lasso doesn't really mean a lot if you're unable to get close. And if he just starts walking towards them with Firefly and getting ready to try and lasso, nightmare. He's not going to be able to do anything without a Blink Dagger. They don't have a Stampede to make him run in quickly. They don't have a long range disable to try and slow them down. They really need a blink on his skills. So he needs to ditch this lane, or at least actually needs level 2. And then should just rotate into the jungle, really. Providing Matcham and Gifted can just deny him up.
Well, Skyzo is getting initiated on Dan Bot. The Shackle is there, but do they have the follow-up? No, they don't have another mana burn ready to go. But Skyzo is getting blocked out quite heavily, and the first blood will go down to Solon picking up Skyzo. Not exactly the call that you were predicting.
Well, technically what I was predicting was that Frigolene needs to go down bottom, or Nixas is going to get trashed.
Well, in the meantime, Stepstyle is taking a good amount of damage harassment-wise in the mid lane. 8 Mother trying to trade whatever he can, just drop the right-clicks onto Miracle. Miracle has 2 points up in Soul Assumption, but at this point it's not really going to be enough. Blom is, in the meantime, opting for that Overload build. He's going to see what else he can get on this lane. And with just Overload, I don't see it being anywhere near enough. He needs, in my mind, for this game especially, control. So maybe choosing to max Electric Vortex to 3 instead of static Overload, which is the usual route we see.
Most Storm Spirits will either choose between maxing Overload or Electric Vortex. Both builds completely work.
This game, though, I feel like they need more control than damage. They have damage in the early game from Miracle.
The thing is, at the moment, they just don't have enough damage to try and get
once
there.
again, they're trying to drop some damage onto him. The stun goes out. They have the mana burn to boot. Do they have the CC? No, Frigolete's getting blocked out. He can't chase this. The downside of the illusions. Back in the mid lane, we do have a bit of a trade going on under the tier 1, however. Trade of blows, just a couple of right clicks here and there. Up on the top lane, how's our Bat doing? We're 7-0 for the Bat Rider. Luna is 14-0.
The thing you need to look at overall is the farm over all of DDP. They go for early push strats very, very often. Skyzo probably may... No, he won't fall. So then does move backwards. But look at like just the farm that's coming out for DDP. They really do try and go for early push strats, and they're just getting absolutely trashed in their lanes.
In terms of CS so far, sure. But
with Lycan's not even getting... He's sharing a dual lane, so he's not getting the high levels. Has needed to go for that bottle first. So that's like that Vlad's or that Medallion is going to come even later.
It is certainly an unorthodox build, I will grant you that. Normally I would have expected Lycan on the top lane or in the jungle. Jungle Lycan is viable once again. But we do have rotations coming through from Frigolete. Pings do go out. So Turtlemasters are certainly aware that something's up. There was a ping there a second ago. Meantime, mid lane. Ape trying to contend for runes does have that regeneration bottled, but all this time when he's running around for runes, he's just not getting any gold or experience. Got Tranquil's coming up for Bat Rider, so he can try to sustain himself in that top lane, but even on this top lane, it's not a good place to be.
Lestar needs to get a lift onto Miracle. Get him down here. Yep, he's got him. That would be a death onto Miracle.
Especially with that Fade Bolt to follow up. And that does give Drakdräpare a little bit of a kill advantage, 2 for 0 so far. And they're not going to be able to get any form of counter kill on only Blomberg here. Giftig in the meantime, going to continue throwing harassment into easy as best he can and farming up under this tower. He's 30 for 6 right now. This is quite a strong position for the Luna to be in this early in the game. He's just finished full treads at 5 minutes, as well as having that Bacillus. She's got all of the control she wants, and I expect her to be going for most likely an early BKB, considering the amount of magical lockdown that Drakdräpare have.
The big issue that the Bat Rider has is up against the Luna is when you play up against the Luna, you know that the harassment from Lucent Beam is limited, as it is a large chunk of mana. But then you just go Magic Stick, and you can do a Lucent Beam whenever you want, because Bat Rider needs to use Napalm to last hit.
Well, Bat Rider is certainly finding the stacks and getting the gold still. So, while he's opting for a bottle now, it's going to certainly be some time before he gets a Blink Dagger, but it's not out of the realms of possibility for it to be up by, I don't know, the 15-minute mark. Especially with the rotation potentially here from Stepstyle, who's going to go charging and looking for the telekinesis, but not going to find any this time.
For you.
And Ape is back to trading into this mid lane now. He's sat at 14-1 so far versus a Storm that is currently 35 for 10. Blomberg is going to be looking for most likely a very fast Orchid to try to help out with bursting down these heroes, stopping the Lycan getting off his ultimate form, for example.
Nice use of the walls by Lycan just to deny off that bottom rune.
Well, meantime, Solon continuing to farm up on this bot lane. Now, this is one thing we haven't noticed.
You get a lasso onto Matchroom at the top.
And they're going to be able to bring him down with no contest, as that's Treads picked up for Storm as well. Now, I was going to know...
There's a long-range shackle from Frigoli.
Yeah, there's the Lycan picking up the kill of Storm with the help of Solon. I was looking for Solon a second ago. With Solon picking up very early arcanes, and look at him, he's only 700-800 away from having a Blink Dagger as well, 900 even. Blink on Solon very early in this game is going to be quite the thing for him. If he can find the Blink in the initiations, I don't care if you're a Timbersaw, you're going to get stunned out. Especially if he can find those big multi-man impales, and that's honestly what we are looking for this game out of him. He needs the control, he needs to bring control to his team. Again, Matchroom is lurking around. He doesn't have Fiend's Grip, he's only level 4. And he will just continue to come up down here. Hell, Matchroom needs to be careful, because Nyx could potentially kill him with the Vendetta coming off cooldown in 10 seconds. He even has those arcanes to get his mana to the point where he could burst him down. Giftig does have what's flying out to him, a Wraithband and a TP scroll. So he's going to be finishing up that Aquila any second. And what else do we have coming out across the map? We do have for 8 Mother a Morbid Mask in his stash, so he's going to be looking to finish off that Vladimir's offering in a mere 300 gold, hell, 130 gold. Because we do have TP to the bot lane for Giftig, he's looking to come down and farm. But yeah, in comes Blom, and Steph Star will take a fall here. Hell, 8 Mother taking a large amount of nuke damage as well, forced to back off. Even with that extra life in the ultimate form, he'll get nuked down very quickly. Now, the thing that I'm considering is, when is it going to be time for Turtle to start pushing towers down more aggressively? Because they must have a time in mind when they want to do this. What is it, when Blum has his first item outside of Treads, or is it when Luna gets maybe a Helm of the Dominator, as here comes the push from Drak.
Don't waste time hitting them.
This is what I was afraid of. If Turtle can't stop this kind of pushing from Drak, Drak will take a stark lead once these towers start to go down. But Skyzoe does come in, he's going to kill as many of these wards as possible, but the wards are still taking chunks out of that tower. Meantime, bot lane, Giftig, getting isolated, stun comes out, and Solon will clean that up. The threat of the Nyx Assassin right there. You need to be very careful when a Nyx is on the field, especially if he's not on the map. And that is a very nice stack right there for the Batrider. That'll get him very close to his Blink Dagger. With the Vladimir's offering now up, it's, in my mind, only a matter of time before Roshan becomes a very viable option, as this tower on the bot lane will be going down. There's no contest right here.
You know what worries me right now?
Go on.
That a lot of pubs have more common sense than Turtle.
Radiant's bottom tower is
what, not contesting the tower?
Sentries down when there's a Nyx Assassin.
Dire has fortified its structures.
Well, there are sentries down, but they're all for Drak.
You have to basically put a sentry down in the middle of every lane when there's a Nyx.
And
that
is quite a worrying thing, I will give you that. And speaking of Nyxes, here comes Nyx once again. That Vendetta is ready to go. And who's he going to opt for?
Sentry.
Is he going to go on Matchroom, or is he going to go on Giftig? Both of these are options. Or is he just going to try to deny the tower? And tries to deny, but doesn't manage to do so. But that is a Blink Dagger already viable. Now Solon will pop his Carapace, but he's got to be very, very careful. As there's the nuke damage, the pure damage coming out of Turtlemasters. They obliterate the Nyx Assassin.
It was clever from Blomberg. He just used the Electric Vortex. It doesn't do any damage. So you just move them away. So you just basically pull them and just walk away. The smoke coming out of the DP. They're going to try and see if they can catch off Giftig, and if he stays around too long, they will be able to.
Especially with Rubik and Shadow Shaman here, and they're going to look to try to grab him. But the pings come out. They know that he's around. I'm not sure Giftig knows what's coming his way, though. And his positioning is hiding the movements of DDP quite well, but managing to back off before he gets picked off. Now Solon He has that blink dagger, he's in the middle lane. You could potentially see the blink stun initiation. He's just going to use the stun to push back the creeps. Got to be very careful. And what do we steal? What got stolen?
Familiars.
Oh, that's a pretty big steal, in all honesty.
Familiars. That's a massive steal.
Yeah, familiars versus familiars now. And in all honesty, what Stepstyle just did will, in my mind, turn the next few minutes of the game, because he can use those to scout, he can use those to stun, he can use those for all manner of nasty things. But this push in the mid lane is a big problem. Or not. Easy does have that blink dagger, and in comes another blink from Solon, locking down Gifting. And Matrim, got to be very careful. Blom, however, is going to bring down Frigolite, but Frigolite gets the sheep off last second. The wards drop as well. Down goes Frigolite finally, and now they're going to look for Stepstyle, and they'll clean him up to boot. Easy, though, is continuing to spam up that sneak arm. He could potentially look for a kill on either of these, with Lycan rotating down. Lycan coming into the mix to boot, does have that ultimate form popped, and with no Eclipse, with no way to escape this, Blomberg is going to go down to the Wolf. Now it's going to be Sky Zoe, who's continuing to be slowed up. There's no escaping that, and he's going to drop. So we get 2 counter kills on core heroes for what was 3 kills involving 2 supports and Nyx. Speaking of Nyx, he's now back on the board. Going to be looking to rotate around. He does have Vendetta available, but I don't think he can actually get a solo kill here unless it's on the Bane. He manages to catch Bane, he can get a kill. Everyone else, I don't think he can actually do it. I mean, we look at Storm, he's going to be respawning in a second. We look at Storm, he's only got 900 HP. He could potentially go down, but he can get out with that ball lightning should he not get stunned, or should he be able to react quick enough to him taking damage from the Vendetta.
I think Storm could easily be killed by
Dire's bottom tower is
the
under
Nyx
attack.
assassin.
Run, little bottom tower. Run.
Have you been doing some math there?
Yeah, I was just quickly trying to work it out.
Well,
I'm not technically doing math, just trying to make guesstimates based on
That's not good for the Radiant.
how Nyx assassin works and, you know, general jazz and stuff.
well, we got a smoke rotating down. We have Vendetta available? Yes, we do. Speaking of Vendetta, here we go. Coming into the mix. There's the blink dagger in. Big impale catching 2, locking down the Luna and the Bane. Now looking for the chase of Miracle. Miracle going to try to drop the soul assumption, but not going to be enough. He's going to lasso a familiar. Questionable play right there. And Blom will manage to punish him for that, but right now it's going to be that mid-tier one. With those wards down, he's going to start shredding the tower, especially when Lycan gets on target as well. Now, speaking of Lycan, he does have that full Vlads. He's got a medallion on his way out next.
Fortified.
I should think he's going to be looking for treads, and then certainly Roshan once that medallion is delivered to him.
Radiant's middle tower has been denied. May they hide
They
their
have
faces.
to be careful about that Roshan, though.
Hmm.
Timbersaw almost will pick up his vitality booster now, and then is only the perseverance away from that bloodstone. And if he catches them all in that narrow point, they're just all going to fall.
Well, Rubik's got the urn available to him now, and he's going to be picking that up from the base. What else do we have seen coming up for the map for DDP? On the bat, we've got that Blink Dagger available for a short amount of time now. I think a 4-staff coming up next for him will most likely be the option here, and he's going to have a look to farm that up as quick as possible. On to Frigolite, we have just many wards. He's got a wand flying out to him now, which I can completely understand. And coming up for Solon. Now, this is the one that's going to interest me. Do we see that potential for the Blink Dagger, as we do have a smoke gang, could potentially catch... he could potentially catch any member here of Drak, but Solon wisely gets out. Now they're dropping plenty of sentries. It's these sentries that are going to help them catch the Nyx, although that's not an easy thing. And in comes the Blink Dagger. Sky Zoe isolated once again, but in comes Blom, getting good stuns out, but down goes Easy, near enough. No, Easy's still alive. No, now down he goes. Now looking for the counter kills. Ape Mother looking to shred Miracle, but Miracle will escape this quite easily. Sky Zoe gets shredded under the tower by a stolen electric vortex, and now comes the chase. They're looking for Blom and looking for Matrim. Matrim's going to be the easiest choice here. Stun will miss, though. And here comes Giftig. Big Eclipse, but it catches 2 strikes on that wolf right next to him. Doesn't really matter. Giftig will go down. That wolf here was one of the most important things in that fight. It ate 600 damage worth of nukes and still was standing.
I don't even believe it was. I think the Eclipse was stupid to do. It was not going to achieve anything. There were still 5 heroes, and Luna was alone. It was basically suicide.
I would agree with you. But
And-
Roshan is
and-
now the
and
order
a
of business.
2-minute cooldown. I really have to question Giftig's use of that Eclipse there, and just even staying there. Like, even if they were going to get the Roshan off the back of that fight anyway, what they could have just done was walk away. Giftig could have got a bit more farm, try to get that BKB up, but instead
The
just
Radiant's
tried to
bottom
throw away
tower
his
has
life,
seen
really.
better days.
But we do have that rotation down towards the bot lane. This is the kind of thing I started to get used to with Drak. They've now got Roshan. Now we're looking for more towers. We want that bot tier 2. And, well, Sky Zoe alone ain't going to be enough to stop that. And in comes the telekinesis, as well as the stuns to follow up. No escape for this one, Sky Zoe, and he will go down.
Spirits will be seeing a lot of you.
Next to go down,
Radiant's
however, will be
bottom
this tier
tower
2. And
is
there's
under
no
attack.
way this is going to last. Just look at the pure damage coming out onto that tower. It cannot stand.
Radiant's bottom tower has
Now,
fallen.
Giftig's going to
And I
look for a
don't
counter
mean
kill, but
in
I'm
love.
expecting to see
Dire's
TPs
middle
here any
tower
second.
is all alone in the world, being attacked.
Or do we even see the push for
Dire's
tier 3?
structures are
That would be a bit
fortified.
ballsy.
No, it's going to be a push for tier 3. They have an Aegis, and they have an
Radiant's bottom
Eclipse.
tower has seen better days.
And here come the wards as well. So yes, the pressure for tier 3 coming. It's already down to half. And now Blomberg gets isolated.
Eclipse.
Stun comes through. Eclipse is there with the stolen Eclipse from Rubik. Miracle gets isolated and he'll be taken out for this fight.
They've had
Two
that,
buybacks.
Eclipse from the last fight.
I didn't see that. I was thinking, what are you on
Yeah.
about?
Yeah, that was why they went tier 3. And now we need to be careful. Someone's going to get another stun.
Miracle getting isolated now. Well, Sky's only trying to throw out his chakram, but it's not going to be enough. Long range jump from Blom, but this could go sideways very quickly. Solon will go down, but look at the
Massive
damage coming
from
out.
Sky Zoe.
Matrim trying to hold Easy in position, but as soon as Easy gets out of here, it doesn't matter. Lycan coming back into the fight now. Sky Zoe just trying to bring down Steph Style and Frigolite, but they're just going to run him around. 8 Mother looking to try to kill whatever he can. Going to go for Sky Zoe. Now turning around. The long range timber chain will miss, and down he goes because he missed his chain.
The Dire's top tower is doing its best, but it doesn't look
That
good.
was 5 kills, 2 buybacks. In exchange for 3 kills and an Aegis, as well as the tier 2 went down in favour of Drak. And, well, the tier 3 is on its last legs. As we get Necro Book 1 come up for Lycan, we got 4 stuff for Nyx Assassin. The big items to help with the push are all coming online for Drak, and Turtle cannot answer at this point. We've got components for a BKB starting to be assembled by Giftig, but it's a little too late for that.
One of the big deals for me right now is with Giftig. He's just not making the right decisions. In that fight, as Sky Zoe was still walking around, and Giftig was just stood around here. And he had the Eclipse coming off cooldown in a few seconds. He had the Lucent Beam, and he could have made a difference, but he was just really hesitating to go in. And as you saw when he made that Eclipse up here, he is just panicking with these decisions. And I think because of that death he had at the top rune, he decided it wasn't going to go in.
Well, we do have a Blink Dagger now available for Frigolite as well, so that's just going to make Giftig's problem all that more pressing. One Blink Hex is going to completely disrupt his fight. And Sky Zoe moving around with a haste rune, trying to just push out these lanes as best he can. But with all 5 members of Drak in the vicinity, do we have the potential for a smoke? We have
They
smoke
don't
on any
need
of
one.
them. No, you think they can just push without it?
They don't. They literally can just go high ground. Burden's just going to keep scouting out with the Vendetta and making sure they're not sneaking around.
Well, pings go out, they know something's up. The ward will drop there, as well as a sentry. They're a little bit wise now to Solon in his games.
It's too late though. Like the way they're trying to use the sentries now should have been done before Solon was able to get a single kill.
I'm inclined to agree with you, and now we've even got pressure coming
The
onto the
Radiant
tier
should
2
really
mid.
do something about that middle tower.
With a Necro 2 as well, this is going to be very, very bad. This tower's going to melt, and Necro units will pop
Radiant
any
structures
second.
are fortified. That means you can't hurt
I
a
don't think he wants.
Yeah, he will.
actually does want to.
The Necro units and the Howl will be more than enough to take this tower with those wards.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Personally, I don't
Radiant's
think the
middle
Necro
tower
units were
has
actually
fallen.
needed. He easily could have got it with just Howl and the wards, and then would have had the Necro book for the next fight.
Well, it's going to be a case of now the top tier 2 is going to be the order of business, and they're going to look for the jump on Skyzo. The Impale misses, but the Lasso doesn't. Lasso bringing him back into the middle of the mix, and the Bane tries to drop Fiend's Grip, doesn't work. In comes Blom, going to look to shred Stephstyle. Stephstyle does get forced staffed away and is out of the fight alive, but now comes the chase on Gifting. Blink daggers from everyone. They're looking just to bring it down the carry, chase everything to the ground. Skyzo buys back and gets back in the fight, dropping a good amount of AoE damage. Frigolite will go down, but now Miracle gets eaten. 8 Mother, just so big. Ultra kill for him. Do we have the potential for Rampage? He could potentially do this here,
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
but with no Aegis, it's very dodgy with that low health. Skyzo will go down, however, to the easy on that Bat Rider.
About time.
Only losing Frigolite, gaining a 4-man wipe, a tier 2. Hell, that was a 5-man wipe. Bane just respawned very quickly.
That's not good for the Radiant.
And the fact that this man, Stephstyle, survived on no HP.
Radiant's top
Beautiful
tower
little
no
team
longer
fight
radiates.
coming out of Drakdräpare. And with all the tier 2 outer towers down by 22, as well as the tier 3 bot lane hobbling around just outside of deny range at 181 HP, it just raises the question, when are Drak going to push tier 3s? They certainly can right now, it's just a case of they need to regenerate.
Yeah, they can just go straight up onto the tier 3. Now they can 8 Mother able to get an Ogre Club on top of his Necro 3, Vlad's, and Medallion. We're gonna have got an Ogre Club onto the Shadow Shaman. Who was that I was clicked on? That was the Nyx, who's got another nearly 2,000 gold up on him. Deathstyle also with the BKB, sorry, not BKB, Blink Dagger. There's 4 blinks on the side of DDP.
Certainly all in favour of DDP at this point in time, and, well, Drak have always shown their power with a push draft, and they're not falling off, they're not losing steam, they just keep going and going. The Bat Rider, as well as the Nyx pickups, certainly help with that. The push is brought by 8 Mother and by Frigolite. The control is brought by everyone else. You don't need to overdo a push strat, ever. With the big man respawning soon, you're looking for potentially another Roshan instead. No, we're going to see a smoke as well as a Vendetta pop. They're looking just to go through the jungle, see what they can get, but they're not careful. Well, they can walk right over this. The smoke won't reveal them under the sentry. That's fine.
Yeah, they're just going to push out bottom. And they're going to leave a couple people in smoke around here and see if they can bait out something.
They don't even need to push out bottom. They can just hide in the smoke while the creeps push this, and then they can look to fight when whoever comes to defend the tier 4s, but they're going to reveal themselves at this point. And right at this point, Turtlemasters must be thinking, oh, we need to defend our tier 3s, but this tower will go down. In my mind, this Rax is doomed as well, especially with the Serpent Ward drop. I don't think Matcham and Gifted can hold this. They need more people here, but the racks are just falling. The melee racks is down, but easy. Does manage to blink out. Solon gets a massive 3-man Impale. Now comes the combo they're looking for. And just look how quickly 3 members of Turtlemasters just dropped. Frigolite doing work. And even picking up Skyzo on the back foot. Now comes the tier 3 mid, and GG is called. What a team fight coming out of Drakdräpare.
Radiant's middle tower is no
Yeah,
dire
too much
victory.
space was given to DDP, and too much space was made by Solon. I think if any team up against Turtle has a Nyx, they're going to buy sentries.
That was certainly a show of force. Bringing victory in 24 minutes, once again with a push style.
I hands down believe that game was turned around entirely by Solon. Their lanes were losing, their lanes were behind, and then Solon got, I think, 2-3 Vendetta ganks off, and the momentum just completely shifted.
It was quite the thing to see.
He gave 8 Mother space into the mid lane and allowed him just to be able to actually get his items.
Well, on that note, with Drakdräpare taking the win, that is the last game we have for you guys